part of this question is very common for me to receive, and I'm going to break it down into two parts, but I'm going to read you the email first. Simple question. We're trying to understand, how do we know we are on the correct day since we have been taking Sabbath according to a Gregorian calendar on Saturday? Then the next part of her inquiry is, your pegboard has 30 days. So does that mean some Sabbaths fall on days other than the Gregorian Saturday? Thank you so much. The straight answer to her question is, we really cannot prove that we have the seventh day of rest from the week of creation. Or maybe it would be clearer to say we can't guarantee that our Saturday is the seventh day according to the Gregorian calendar. However, when I consider the preservation of the agricultural calendar across these literal thousands of years, I'm really not much worried about the seventh day of the biblical calendar being the Gregorian Saturday. I do believe that there are some things that we must trust Elohim unless he gives us evidence otherwise. And that's what we're looking for. That's what you're looking for in this email to me, is you're looking for evidence that the seventh day of creation is the Gregorian Saturday, and we do not have that evidence. I remember one time someone wrote me and asked, listen, when you get to the seventh day Sabbath there in Israel, will you look at creation and nature and tell me if there's any sign, anything that makes that day set apart from the rest of the days, that we can know that this is the real seventh day rest? And there is nothing. If I want to say that there's something different in Israel on our seventh day rest from the rest of the days, it's the complete sheked, the complete quiet that comes in. That's the word sheket. The complete quiet that comes in on that day as the people turn into their homes to rest. But from nature, there is nothing. And so there are just some things that we must trust Elohim, that unless he gives us evidence otherwise, we are pleasing him. And the next question, part of the question, was on the pegboard. Your pegboard has 30 days. Does that mean some Sabbaths fall on days other than the Gregorian Saturday? On the pegboard, from the video she's mentioning, the pegboard represents the possible 30 days of a lunar cycle, and the pegboard represents the 12 or 13 lunar cycles that the barley needs to become mature. So no, the pegboard really doesn't have anything to do with the count of what Elohim says, 6 days shall you work and the seventh you shall rest. Has nothing to do with that. It's really interesting that Elohim's time wheel, timelines, have parts that function not only independently and within each other, but they complement each other. So the 7-day Sabbath is a 7 perpetual counting of days, end of story, from creation. While the beginning of the year is known by the Abib barley, and how many months are in that year is determined by the maturing of the Abib barley.